Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
And so we're in Ebonyi State now, where the government cancelled the recently held election of the Electrical Dealers Association, citing procedural irregularities and potential crisis within the union. Who did that? Of course, the Commissioner for Market Development and Parks, Professor Mogo Ajuka Obasi. And we have him here with us online. Good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon, please. How are you doing?
I'm fine. And how's your day going?
We thank God.
Now, elections seems to be a boiling point for problems or troubles, not just in associations, even in the Nigerian society. And you raised an issue in the news I just told you a bit about, procedural irregularities and potential crisis within the union. How did you sort that out as quickly as possible so that it didn't boil over?
Okay, thank you so much. You know that in Ebonyi State, we have these unique peculiarities, and that is why Ebonyi State is the only state in the Federation that have Ministry of Market Development and Parks. And this was done to enable us actually look into, no matter how minor is, the troubles with traders, to enable us sort them out and provide an enabling environment for our traders and to enable us attract investors, all of both local and direct foreign investors. And so in trying to actualize that mandate, we've been trying to maintain peace. In the case of Electrical Dealers Association of Nigeria, a petition was brought to my office that an organization which is the Market Development Board conducted the election, and because they didn't follow the outlines of their constitution, they have to go and conduct another election, and so that it is becoming a problem. And the enable me sort it out, I have to call for a meeting of the entire members of the Electrical Dealers Association in my office. They came and we met with my management team. And in the course of the meeting, we observed that there is need to respect constituted authorities. The union have existed for over 20 years, and so there is no way we can come and turn down their constitution to just carry out the parallel election. It means that there may be something behind that. And so to maintain peace, the two parallel elections that were held have produced two parallel executives. I had to cancel and declare the election null and void, and the executive dissolved. And to put up with the peace part, I looked into their constitution and saw that they have what they call BOT members of the association. So in order not to go into other issues that may bring problems, I decided to appoint the BOT members as a caretaker committee, 5 of them as a caretaker committee, and charge them with the mandate to meet with these two fractions or these two parallel groups, and then try to understand what the problem is among them, make peace within them, and within 3 months conduct the election that must follow the due process of their constitution. They should use whatever the constitution provides, and then as the supervisory ministry, we will be duly informed when the election will be held, so that we monitor them and then ensure that the election goes peacefully, enable them continue with their business without hindrances. Thank you.
Thank you too. I think that is a move that is worthy of praise. But I need to ask, the 5 men that were appointed into this caretaker committee and who were board of trustee members, were they not aware of the parallel nature of the, let me use the word, factions of the Electric Dealers Association going on? Were they not aware of
Yes,
it?
what really
So what
happened
action
is
did
that,
they take before these parallel elections took place?
Okay, what really happens is that the union in their report, because they had a chairman, but the tenure of the chairman ended last year November. And normally how they conduct their elections is that when the tenure ends, we nominate their electoral body from among their members. And then after that, the nominated ELECO members will now conduct the election, which will still be by people nominating and seconding, and then they vote by just simple majority raising up of their hands.
Right.
But what happened is that when the tenure ended, and instead of going into that, the people, that is the union, decided that their constitution is long overdue, and as such, hello, can you hear me?
I'm with you. Long overdue for review.
Okay. That the term is long overdue, and that what they want to do now is for the people whose tenure have ended to revise their constitution, so that when they hand over to the new interim, they will now use the new constitution. That was the agreement according to them. But along the line, while they were doing the constitution and they had concluded with the constitution, so to adopt the constitution, a fraction of them now went to the market development board and complained that the constitution which these people are doing is just to favor them, and so they don't accept it and want the board to now conduct the election for them, which is outside their constitutional provision. And so the board maybe did not look into it properly and decided to do that. Called them and told them they will conduct the election. So majority of the people say that they will not accept it. They will boycott. That what board or government agencies do in their election is to monitor the progress and not outrightly condemning their distance. So this is part of what I looked into. Because if the board had said, okay, we will not accept this your new constitution, since the tenure of these people have ended, let's use the old constitution and conduct the election. Thereafter, election have been conducted. The new people will now have the mandate of revising the constitution. It would have been better. And what they also complained in the petition is that the very person which was returned where they boycotted the election, that the person is 7 months in the association and does not know what the association wants, so that the person was imposed to them. And it is part of what these BOT members, what the former executive and the other party wrote. So we've been trying to say, you see, when there is crisis, there is no need trying to do, just take a common front that we balance everybody. Since their BOT member does not have any fault, and I do not want to see that you appoint somebody within them, it will be as if you are favoring one side.
Party,
so that is why I decided to say that the BOT members should be the first people to serve for the 3 months to reconcile them, because the BOT will also have the mandate to reconcile them even if there is problem, according to their constitution.
Okay.
I say that instead of appointing anybody, let the BOT members serve for that interim period, and so that they can normalize things within them.
Oh, okay then. But did you also give the 5-man caretaker committee the mandate? This is just a question for them to ensure that the constitution is reviewed, since they were supposed to review the constitution before the elections, or they are only going to take care of the elections?
Okay, you see, what happens is that you instead of compounding issues, because if you want the 5-man committee to review the election, or for them to force them to adopt this new constitution that has been, that have been completed, then it will mean that you actually want to favor a particular people. So what I told them to do is simple. They should try to meet with these different fractions and unite them. Okay. When they unite them, they should adopt their old constitution first to conduct the election. Then after conducting the election, the new people that emerge as ESCOs will now either work on the the new constitution, that's either review it, or if they don't find, if there is anything that are contesting, the new ESCOs will now thoroughly put up a constitution review committee, and then they will review it and adopt, so that they won't have such problems again.
That's a great direction to go. Thank you very much, Professor Mogo Ajukobase. But before I let you go, this is just one of the many associations in Ebonyi State which are under your purview. And the route you took in this matter shows that you have everything going for you. But what about if the factions in this Electrical Dealers Association had refused your intervention? What do you think would have happened?
Well, you see, when you are in a policy, so far as you are balanced in what you are thinking, the government has a way. You cannot lord it over the government, because we have said that we do not want anybody to create crisis. You see, when I took over office, I looked into the market and I found out that there were a lot of crises almost all over. So I tried to do stakeholders engagement in each of these markets, and then the unions, the different unions that exist. And I found out that what was the main cause of the problem was leadership crisis among them. And why were there crisis in this leadership? The crisis was as a result of the fact that leaders were imposed on them by government. Previously, leaders will be imposed. Even if they don't like it, they will use police, use all necessary security agencies as a threat. And so it was always having fractions. When I understood that, I discussed it with His Excellency, who graciously approved that each of the unions should conduct their elections and elect their leaders. And so we went into those that their tenures as experiments of the major markets, like the international market, the building materials market, the timber market, and some of the major markets in Ebonyi State. We went into that, and then they conducted free, fair, and credible election for them. Since the election, there have been a lot of peace in all these markets. And that means that we actually identified the problem. And so we believe that now we have identified the problem, that these people are claiming that there is an imposition on them. Now we have stopped the imposition and tell them, do the normal thing, follow your constitution. So we believe that whether you are a fraction, whether you are in this fraction or the other fraction, you are about to follow the things that you people agreed, which is in your bylaw, which is in their bylaw. So that is what I believe. So if any group don't want to accept it, they cannot lord it over us. We now tell them that there is a way to maintain law and order in the state, and that is why we have the security agencies.
Thank you very much, Professor Mogo Ajoka Obasi, for coming on to Southeast News. He is the Commissioner for Market Development and Parks. And I must say that you're doing a good job, and it's a big but, I want you to ensure that all the unions are peaceful, because you cannot develop the market and the parks when the unions have turbulence.
Exactly.
So thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. And we thank you for your contributions. And
thank you.
That's it on Southeast News. We'll be back.
Thanks.